It is a beautiful night in Budapest. And come to think of it, what night in Budapest is not beautiful? It is early July 2017, and as I walk across the Margit Híd, which is bridge in Magyar, I find myself thinking that I first came to Budapest rather in 2001, which I think would have been about, well, 2017 minus 2001, be about 16 years ago. And since 2001, I have probably come in and out of Hungary probably more times than I can remember. I'd probably more than a dozen, maybe a dozen and a half times I've come in and out of this incredible city. And you know, coming in and out of this city, I've come to I know the city pretty well. In fact, I lived here for 3 years, and I'm often asked what's, you know, what are some of, if not the most challenging things about coming to Budapest, coming to Hungary for that matter. And you know, people ask me, is it learning the language? Is that one of the hardest things? Learning Magyar? And you know, you pick it up, and enough people, you know, can speak a little bit of English that, you know, you can get by. So learning the English is not the hardest thing. Is it deciding what bath to go to? You know, there's all types of Turkish baths here, and is it deciding which bath to go to? And not really. You know, there's 2 or 3 really popular ones, and you just kind of mix it up. And then it's, you know, should you rent a lakás? Lakás is Hungarian for condo. Should you rent a lakás in Buda or in Pest? Right now, Pest is on that side of the bridge, and I am walking over to Buda. So you know, it's should you stay in Buda or Pest? And more times than not, I've stayed in Pest, not for any particular reason. It's just kind of that's the way that it's turned out. Let's see, what are some of the other things people might think are challenging? You know, is it difficult taking your eyes off all the beautiful Hungarian women? And you know, I gotta admit that that ranks right up near the top, because the Hungarian women are without question some of the most beautiful women in the world. But no, so that's not the hardest thing about coming to Budapest. Probably, you know, after all these years of coming and going in and out of Budapest, probably without question, the hardest thing that I have found about coming to Budapest is leaving Budapest. That is probably the most difficult. Is leaving Budapest. And I say that because I am only about I've got less than 48 hours in Budapest now. I fly out of Budapest Thursday morning, and here it is Tuesday evening. So you know, I found in the past that when I'm getting ready to depart this great city, I have found in the past that what I usually try to do is I spend the last couple days just trying to you know, get in as much as I can. And one of the things that I like to do is I like to go out and treat myself to a special dinner. And that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm on my way down to I'm going into Buda, and I'm going to a restaurant called Kéhli. It's Kéhli, Kéhli. Kéhli Étterem. Étterem is restaurant. And I'm going to go have a nice dinner. I'm not sure if I'm going to have paprikash or goulash or or exactly what I'm going to have, but I'm going to have one of those, and I'm going to bring you along for a nice dinner. And they should have some live music there. I would imagine that they would have some live music going on, so it should be a really nice evening. So with that being said, I'm going to catch the I think it's the number 9. I'm going to have to ask somebody. So I'm going to catch the bus or the tram or whatever will get me there, and we'll be sitting down for a nice meal here very shortly, or so I hope. All right, so it took a little bit of effort. I had to wait for the number 109 bus, and you know, it's interesting how times have changed in 16 years. Using Google Maps, I was just able to navigate my way here, and here is I'm not too sure if I found it or not, but it's around here somewhere, and I will I'll look. So I'm over in I am over in Pest, or Buda right now, rather. I'm over in Buda, and somewhere around here is the restaurant, and it'll take me a little bit. I know it's right in this general vicinity. And as I was getting off the bus, I found myself thinking that you know, it is very safe here in Budapest. Knock on wood. That was one of my concerns when I first came to Budapest. It was after just after the wall came down, so to speak, and I was quite nervous coming to Budapest for the very first time. I was quite nervous coming to Budapest the very first time, but now I can say that I feel safer walking the streets of Budapest, regardless of the time of the day, be it in the middle of the afternoon or the middle of the night. I feel quite safe. So here it is, Kéhli Vendoglo, or something like that. I'm not sure what the Vendoglo means, but I know Étterem is restaurant, but here is the restaurant. If you're in Budapest and you want to get a nice dinner, this is it's a great place to come for dinner. Hopefully they'll have a seat for me. I'll give you a nice shot of the outside of the restaurant. So let's go inside and see if I can't get a table. Should be I've eaten here a few times, and I've never been disappointed when I've come in to eat. So plenty of seats over in this area here, and I don't hear any live music, but I bet there'll be some live music playing. Looks like they have some different currency. Which watch? YouTube. Yo? Okay, fantastic. One, I want to eat, please. Okay. One for myself. Okay. I'm just showing them the restaurant. This is one of my favorite restaurants in Budapest. Music tonight?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. There's one of the musicians there. Quite crowded this evening. We've got a nice, wonderful outdoor terrace. Oh, fantastic! Got a nice table over here. Köszönöm szépen. All right, so as luck would have it, they've got a table, and we'll sit down and have a nice dinner here. And, thank you very much. Okay. So the gentleman was kind enough to give me some history about this. I warmly welcome you to this storytelling old house where at the beginning of the last century the hardworking and hospitality Kéhli family opened its small restaurant. They ran the eatery with such care and love that Mother Kéhli's name became famous within her lifetime. And then it goes on to say the former old Buddha with its rickety houses, workshop stores, little pubs, inviting bohemians, artists, and students disappeared more than 25 years ago. And I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but it closes saying, I wish you a good appetite and a wonderful experience together with my family and colleagues, Suchi family and the Kéhli team. So let's have a nice dinner, all right? All right, so I decided to treat myself tonight. I'm going to have I ordered the hortabaj pancakes as an appetizer. Those are like crepes, if you will, that are stuffed with pork, and they've got a wonderful sauce, and then they've got a wonderful sauce, and then they have the sour cream, I believe. And then I ordered the Transylvania steak, and it looks like it'll be it's the Transylvania steak filled with ham, bacon, and mushrooms. So it should be a nice meal, needless to say. And the musicians are playing over here, and a lot of times they'll walk through the crowd. I don't know, maybe we'll see if they're going to do that. I think they're going into I think they're actually being summoned into the other room right now. But off they go. There's a private party in the other room, so we're being summoned to go play for the party that's happening in the banquet room, I believe. But hopefully they'll be back. All right, so the appetizer is served, and boy, does it look delicious. Don't know if it'll be as good as the hortabaj pancakes I had at a friend's house, Andrea. She cooked me some out of this world hortabaj pancakes a couple weeks ago, but boy, this sure does look good. Alright, so as is customary here, the musicians will usually walk around and they'll ask if somebody has any request. Hopefully he'll play something. He's asking them what they'd like to listen to.
Johnny!
So we're in for a treat.
You have? I said that to you. Yeah?
Sanyikám, nagyon szépet játszik. Angolosak volt, de Gypsy volt. Gypsy lehet rájöjjön.
Gypsy muzika.
Az a szép, az a szép.
Jaj, 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 a szívem nem tudja se. Hopp, 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 hopp. Csak a cigány egyedül, aki nékem egyedül, csak azt tudja. Hey, hi, hi.
Right. Bravo, bravo. All right, so I'm not sure if this is as good as Edith's mother would have made. Edith is my friend from Italy, and she lives in, well, she's from Transylvania, and she lives in Italy. So I got the steak, and I got to tell you, it actually looks really, really good. So I'm going to dig in and have myself a wonderful meal.